Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to episode 156 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where we talk Destiny, interview guests, and talk about our love of the game. I'm your host, KingsleyMac, along with Just Sin this evening. I am sick and tired. No, just kidding. I'm sick. How are you doing,
And I
Sin?
am not.
Are you tired?
I am not. I'm always tired. Certainly always magical. And yeah, and as always, playing and podcasting at the same time.
Yep. And Des is not able to join us this evening, but we will look forward to hearing next week.
For sure.
But what's new? What's new in life? Oh, you have a new mic.
Yes, new mic. Got a new podcasting mic, switching off the Blue Yetis. Went with the Shure XLR. I don't know the three letters that go along with it. The MV7 maybe. MV7, I think it is, not the SM7B, which is the $400 version of the mic. This one is just an XLR. It cost me about $160. So yeah, a little bit better. Hopefully, a little bit more crispy tone for you all this afternoon.
Well, it does sound really good. I was mentioning to you earlier, and yes, everyone, please let us know either in the live feedback if you're listening or after the fact. Let us know how Sin sounds. I'm sure you will also agree he sounds crispy, but $160, geez, I only spent $40 for my mic.
I know prices definitely have gone up. I think as you pointed out when you looked at your mic.
Oh yeah, it's more now. I think you
spent $40. Now it was like $100.
Yeah, I mean my exact model is not available really anymore, but an equivalent model was around $100.
Yeah,
so who knows?
Man, they've definitely gone up. Materials and products in general, even gas is going up now. So
yeah,
I digress on that one.
But not everything goes up. I mean, but I guess the things that can go up. But I mean, they never raise the price of consoles, even though they're hard to find. They're the same price, and Apple products, even though they start more expensive than other computers, they have not raised the price really. They're already kind of just staying at that level that they've been for years for particular models.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And new cars, they don't really raise the price. I mean, maybe they're not offering discounts off of MSRP, but they're not raising the prices because they can't really. They're just hard to find, right?
Right. And lack of inventory was the reason they went up. Dealership said, okay, well, I have 3 people looking for the same car. I'm not going to give them a discount. In fact, I'm going to charge them more than MSRP because I can, and people are going to pay them. So,
so they do go above MSRP?
Yeah, especially some of the dealerships here around the DC area. They'll do an addendum over the MSRP and basically make their profit.
I think Subaru was keeping it the same as the last I heard, but maybe not.
Yeah, they might have.
Yeah, but of course they're hard to find. And the used market, of course, we know. Geez, my car, I don't know. I could probably sell it for a pretty penny, but do I want to? Not really.
Yeah, I could probably sell my car right now. With having a different work vehicle, I could probably sell mine. Make more or make the same of what I paid for it 2 years ago now. But haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet, just in case, because the truck I'm driving for work is not ideal. So I wouldn't want to drive it any other time if I don't have to.
Well, I want to give a shout out in this episode. Normally we would do it at the end, about once a month, but we'll do it a little bit different this time for our Patreon members. And we do have at least one new one since Blub. Thanks for joining, Philip.
Nice. Thanks for joining, Philip.
Yeah, but we also have Kato, of course, All Thumbs, Cloud Nebula. We have Gator, Red Grackle, and Mr. Monkey. Thank you very much, everyone.
And just know your Patreon money did not fund my mic purchase.
No, it didn't. It's only going, well, I mean, that would be a totally legit thing to do. We can do that eventually. Let's get a few more patrons. Once we, I think, honestly, and, I don't remember all the numbers, but it's not covering everything yet. But once we have enough Patreons that cover things like that, then if you have suggestions on what we could spend the monies for, above and beyond, the web hosting fees, all the podcast fees, bot fees, then hey, so it needs another new mic, or we can put it into a pot and give it away. To who? I do not know.
What is this?
And you will have a large sum of dollars.
Lucky Charms.
Excuse me. A large sum of dollars in two numbers, two decimals, or decimals, whatever. Give it away now, Drafty says in the live chat. Okay. Drafty, I think we have negative $5 right now based on something like that, based on how much is being donated and how much fees are. So
right.
You want to give me the $5, please? Okay.
Mohafo, thank you for that. Sound more magical. I appreciate that. That's what I was going for.
Sure you do. More magical than ever.
Love
nice
it.
Spacey voiced. All right, what's new? What have we been doing in the game? Sin, I believe, has some titles.
Oh, yes. This week, I've gotten 2. Gumshoe and Risen is the seasonal one. I've gotten both of those. A lot of grinding for having to get the patterns for these weapons for Gumshoe, but finally finished that one. Was excited about that. I've been Triumph grinding, of course, throughout the week. Not as high as Helios and Lana and Mohafo, but now I think I'm sitting 4th in Triumph score, which is cool. It's not something I've done before.
I think you are right. It's about 4th or so.
Yep. Des, welcome.
Hi.
Hello. Hopefully everything is started.
Good to go with you. How are you doing, sir?
Better than I was, that's for certain. So anyone concerned, I'm doing much better. Just a bit of a moment of crisis, but yeah, all worked out.
Good to hear. Now, does Sin sound different to you at all?
If you're talking about the microphone that he's been, talking about, I have no idea what you're speaking of.
No, but there is. You didn't know that.
No, there is a bit of a difference for sure. It's definitely I will say there's something of a focus, I don't know. It's hard to describe like the difference of sound in omni and non-omnidirectional.
Yeah.
But there's definitely that difference there.
Sin's annoyance is louder and clearer. Got it, Drafty.
Perfect. Exactly what I was going for.
Ooh, yeah. And Sin's triumph is larger than Drafty's.
Probably.
Is that a euphemism?
He said higher, but I translated it. Well, it's funny, and I think we've talked about this, but like you've always sounded good on. Are you still using like the phone right now, or remind me?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and then one time when Sin came in on the phone, as opposed to not that the blue sounded horrible by any means, but one time when he came in on the phone, I'm like, you sound so much like closer and clearer.
Exactly right.
Yeah. The blue mic definitely has a unique tone to it for sure. And we're totally getting teabagged in comp right now. That's brutal. Speaking of which, found out something interesting about the Broken title tonight. I know we talked about it in the past, but I thought this was the last season you could get it, meaning you had to get your last reset now. But apparently you have to start getting your comp now, and you have 2 more seasons after this to get it done.
Yeah. It's basically this is the point of no return. If you don't start it this season, then you're not getting it.
Oh, interesting. Well, I guess I'm not getting it.
Same.
I'm going to try. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we were just barely going to start talking about what we've been doing. That was it, Sin. And then I know you have a couple titles, right?
Yeah, I got those titles. I was talking about the Gumshoe and Risen. Played a crap load of Val raids this week. It's nice. I haven't gotten a lot of raids in typically at the start. And usually I'm like way behind everybody else on the amount of raids that you get in. But I think I've gotten 20 of the raids in so far since its release, which has been nice. Been trying to keep up. Every time I see a raid, I've been trying to join in.
Yeah, you're ahead of me right now.
That's a first. Not gonna lie, that's a first.
We'll see if it stays that way long run. But no,
right.
I'm just a little below. I think I'm 18 or something, or was it 16? Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't matter. And of course, some of these are just checkpoints or helping people with things here, and most of them are full runs. But speaking of another interesting piece of information, okay, how many weeks has the raid been out now, approximately? Anyone remember?
3.
That's it?
3 or 4.
I would say 4. Yeah. Well, anyways, so the most anyone has for opportunities for the RNG exotic is 4 times potentially 3 if they run 3 different characters. I've been doing Hunter a lot more recently, so I've 2 weeks I was Warlock only, and then 2 weeks I did Hunter and Warlock. So maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 opportunities. But Sin, you want to let the listeners know how many copies of the exotic you have?
I think we were talking about this earlier. Of course, I deleted one. I have 2 still. I've gotten 3 in about 15, 16 runs. And it feels bad every time it drops, especially for those who haven't gotten it, because I already have it. I don't need it at that point. So
you don't need to feel bad.
I'd like to have some other people to have good RNG as well, but yeah, it's probably the best RNG I've had in a raid when it comes to exotics for sure.
That's insane. 3, huh? Oh man. Well, I feel like I haven't seen as many people getting this, at least with the groups I've run, as opposed to even Vex this early in, about a month or so in. So, it could just be what's the confirmation bias or whatever the term I'm looking for. But still, I've been seeing a lot less people get it so far. And then it's really funny that you have 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't call it funny, just streamer RNG.
Everyone pointed, sit, and laugh. Does anything interesting you've been doing in the game this week in Destiny or other games?
I can't say too much Destiny. I haven't been playing a lot of Destiny. Sort of taking a little mini break, not quite intentionally, but
I feel like you were in a raid recently, or was that maybe 2 weeks ago?
That might have been last week.
Yeah.
Because sadly, most of the raids are like 10 o'clock my time. It's like, I can't start then. Like, this thing is still taking 2 hours. I can't start then. But, I mean, that's scheduling conflicts and crap. I can't really be mad at that. I can be a little sad, but can't be mad at it. But no, and that's pretty much what I'm hopping into Destiny to do. If I catch a raid, I'm definitely in it. It's just, like I said, timing isn't working out too well this time around. But I have picked up and have been playing the holy balls out of Strangers of Paradise.
Oh, nice. That is on my list. How is that?
It is not a Final Fantasy game. It's Final Fantasy in story, but this is most definitely a Team Ninja game, like 100%. So yeah, if you liked Neo, if you like Ninja Gaiden, you're gonna love this game. And if you're a fan of the Final Fantasy story, there's of course this is like, I guess since it's a side game, there's umpteen blue million different like callbacks and allusions all throughout the game, and it's fantastic. So yeah, definitely don't get it if you're expecting an RPG, and if you like action games, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah,
because it's very soulsy.
So very I may enjoy it a little bit more. Not that I hated RPG games. I always think I could get into them, but I just don't give them enough of a fair chance.
Yeah. Also, like I said, considering it's done by Team Ninja, and I've heard of a lot of people say that this gameplay is almost spot on to Neo, which was the Souls-like that Bandai Namco. No, Tecmo. Which might have been Ben. I don't know. Either way, it's the Souls-like that Team Ninja did. So it is a little more action-oriented Souls feel.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, right on. Yeah, I mean, we've been raiding a lot because and it's not like we should be expecting new stuff every week in Destiny, but as far as like the really fancy show-offy new stuff has been, light for this month by design. And there's little things like we had Gambit Labs this week, which we may talk about. I know Sin said he hopped in there. Things like that. But I was running through the seasonal story on a second character and really appreciating it again. And so, I just wanted to mention again how it's a really good seasonal story, especially for being, a season that comes with the expansion, where typically in the past they have not been as good, the first season that comes with a new year's expansion.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to this year in general still. I mean, we just have this month through some, lighter times, and then guarding games may not be the biggest thing in the world, but I'm kind of looking forward to it this year. And then right after that, we're going to be rolling into the next season.
Oh, I know. It's coming soon.
About 6 weeks left. I was doing the math today, so it's not horrible. 6.5 weeks, but by the time this comes out, 6 weeks.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see what this next season will bring.
Well, we know a little bit more has kind of been confirmed in the TWAB that came out today. More and more looking like Iron Banner could be getting some more and more revamps next season.
Oh, yes.
Well, they've already said that, though.
They did, but the thing is, okay, but they only, and this is what I was wondering, didn't they only kind of mention like the tokens things and stuff like that in the past, or did they say more than that?
I think they've mentioned tokens, but they haven't said that. But that's all they've mentioned on any potential like reworks.
Yeah.
But yeah, what the news that came in this TWAB was Gator's gonna be mad. That was my first thought. Also, FYI, also early for those listening, no Iron Banner bounty hoarding this time around. Apparently.
Yeah. Hey, that's okay. I mean, if it's because things are changing, that's what has to happen.
Right.
I'm glad they're finally doing it. Like, holy crap! Come on. Like, bounty hoarding has been an issue since D1. It is legitimate. Like, this whole like early head start mentality, I feel like has been persisted because it's been so rewarding. I mean, I remember when what was Dark Below first released, people were at max power level within hours of Dark Below releasing because of hoarding.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been that prevalent since, but it's still been highly rewarding. Now, I personally don't care. I just don't. But, it's just nice for them it's nice to see them actually like take a stance on something. One way or the other,
Yeah. Well, I mean, they talk about that. I mean, I feel like the fact that they say we're planning a larger TWAB to cover upcoming changes, I feel like that's kind of hinting that there's more than just bounty and token changes. I could be wrong. But with some things we've read too, the stars could be lining up.
Yeah, I mean, it's hopefully next TWAB is going to be interesting. I mean, it should be. I mean, good lord, it sounds like it might be meaty immediately. Because these are no small. Listen, it doesn't sound like any small changes that's going to be happening.
Yeah. All right. What else do we have in the TWAB?
I think that was the big news. I know they talk about charity stuff.
Yeah,
for kids.
That's what it was.
Yeah, the men in kilts are at it again.
Mm-hmm.
Or kilts for kids, I believe they call it, but it's like an organization or something. Yeah, if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, or something. I know, but it's still the only time I heard of them was like I think TWAB from just a couple of years ago, and it's like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
benefiting the Ronald McDonald House charities of Western Washington and Alaska, from what I'm seeing there.
Yeah.
So donate money, you'll get emblems or other things.
And also wear a kilt. It's breezy.
Ooh, breezy.
Well, only if you do it the true Scottish way.
Is there any other way?
Exactly.
I'm sure lots of people. We're getting some fun comments on that one in the live chat.
Why you, Ninja? This is all natural. We're talking here. All natural.
Commando, as it were.
Okay, but even if you don't wear a kilt, donate money to help the Kilts for Kids Foundation if you want.
$50 gets you a sweet emblem.
And even if you don't wear a kilt, go commando if you want. We're not judging.
Yeah. As long as it's appropriate wherever you are, right?
I mean, that's
Exactly.
true. I mean, don't get in trouble with it.
Yeah.
And if you have to go to the bathroom, I take this saying from a old podcasting mate back from what is it? Destiny Down Under days. I'm gonna have brain malfunction. What was his name? Did a lot of the artwork too.
Oh, Genius?
Yes, Genius. He always had this saying. So if you go commando, and this is just not for commando, but if you do go commando and you're wearing jeans or other garments, wipe it till it's white.
Thank you, Sin.
That is all.
Now, do I have to mark this specific episode explicit? I'm just kidding.
That's a helpful hint of the day.
Ooh.
True. You should always wipe it till it's white, Ninja. That is correct.
All right. What are we turning into here? Okay. What else in the club?
What is this, Destiny X podcast all of a sudden?
I mean, it's fine, but
we have higher standards here. Maybe.
Tangents.
Potentially. But I mean, when we're I haven't even looked at this one. I mean, we can go back up if there's more, but the first Disciple 8-bit video, that looks cool. Should I play it live? No, I won't do that, but that looks cool. But when we are done with the TWAB Des, we have an exciting, this news came out yesterday, the day before, a community member.
Oh, yeah. I definitely saw that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just music? It's not a video? Okay. Oh my gosh, we're going off the rails here.
Yeah, but the community member, Mitchie Slaps, the community focus, he did give us a shout out. Recent podcast guest of ours. If you haven't listened to that episode, definitely go back and listen to it for sure. Great guest and doing great things with his Stream Deck profile for the call outs. It's awesome. And thank you again, Mitchie. The shout out. Truly amazing, sir.
Yes.
The real MVP.
Yeah, but let's just focus a little bit more. I mean, in case anyone isn't sure what we're talking about, Bungie puts out community focus on different people from time to time, and they post it on their website. And Mitchie Slaps, who was a guest of ours on episode 155, got featured by Bungie with his Stream Deck thing that we were talking to him about. So definitely check out that post. Again, check out his Stream Deck if you have one or want to use one. It's really great. TLDR, it's really great, especially for just remembering callouts. If you tend to forget, you want to make your life easier, or if there's certain ability issues of not being able to see or hear, or I don't know all the ways to play it, but there are ways that the Stream Deck, we've had people write in and say, oh, this is really great. I'm using it in this unique way. And he's received a lot of great feedback on that. So definitely check out his thing. And yeah, thanks for the shout out. But more importantly, check him out, because this is like, I think I know there's been times in the past, I think maybe even DRP way back got mentioned on something, but this is like the first time I felt like someone like closer, like smaller, closer to us has gotten mentioned. So pretty cool. Shout out to Mitchie Slaps.
I think
this is where I need to soundboard.
Yeah. I think the closest I came was whenever Danfinity got put on the focus.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
And Dan is a great guy. Of course,
He is.
he gets so many shout outs from everyone because of he's just so nice to everyone and he helps everyone
He
out.
is. He's an amazing individual. And I had a very unique way of first meeting him.
Good story.
Well, it was back in RNG, and I was unemployed at the time, so it's actually not a great story. It's kind of a sad story. But anyway, I was unemployed at the time, and I lost internet for like 2 weeks. But it was like without warning. So I just like up and vanished for like 2 weeks, which was not good, considering I was doing a weekly podcast. But to kind of fill that gap, Buster in Business actually got Danfinity to kind of substitute host. So yeah, so I came back and
nice.
we got to talk there.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, and then I found out I have like 1,000,010 things in common with this dude, and every time he came on, we ended up talking about comic books way too much, and it was fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my fairly unique way of meeting Danfinity. Because at first it was kind of like, who is this guy? What? Then I got to talk to him. It's like, oh my god, this is the best dude ever.
Yeah.
Drafty in the chat said he met Dan in 2018. I'm wondering if that was at Guardian Con.
Oh yeah, like legitimately met? Yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't physically met anyone. With no lack of trying from Sen.
I know. If I wasn't on a time crunch, I would have.
I mean, that, and I feel like if I could have been just like, probably like 50 or so miles more anywhere closer to the interstate, it would have probably worked out way better. But, I mean, I say 50, but I'm not that far away from interstate.
95, you mean?
I mean, yeah, 95. It could have been way better.
All right, so who are you two voting for, or which of you two are you voting for Team Monsters or Team Mechs?
Max. Or as Nolly is insisting, the super clarification of Team Gundam.
Well, I don't like how the Warlock looks. Looks like a beetle to me.
I wasn't fond of him.
The Titan looks really cool for Team Mechs. Now for Team Monsters, because of this, I'm going to vote for that because the Warlock, I think, looks awesome. But I expect Mechs to win. I definitely do. Sorry, did you say, Sen, which one you're voting for?
I didn't have a preference either way.
Oh, come on, pick a side.
Hey, don't be a stick in the mud. You have to pick a side.
We'll go Mech.
I mean, I would for Titan.
I mean, because then I believe like Titan 100% looks like a Gundam. Hunter definitely looks like something Gundam era. It almost looks like something Shar Aznable would pilot for Gundam fans out there. And yeah, Warlock just kind of, I guess, resemble. I have to look at it again, but yeah, I don't know. But still, it's Mech. I'm going to buy the Hunter get up 100%. So
yeah,
nothing else really matters because I'm going to get the Hunter one and probably the Titan one because yeah, it does look like practically a Gundam. But yeah, getting Hunter.
Yeah, no, that is cool. And so, what is the reminder we have? Do we have time still to vote on this, or is it not coming out yet? I forget. We didn't have a podcast last week, but that's when they first announced it. So we can rewind and pretend we told you how much time you have to vote for this.
Yeah, well, wouldn't this be? I mean, with the monster choice, wouldn't this be another? I mean, I haven't looked into super details on it, but wouldn't it be another? What you call it? Festival of the Lost.
Yes.
Thing. So I guess we probably have, if we have time, it's probably only another week or two, I'd say, because they do need time to, of course, model it, sculpt it, get rid of clipping issues as much as possible. Yeah.
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 All right. So definitely vote for that by April 13th. Thanks, research assistant in our live chat. Which, by the time
April
you hear
13th?
this, hopefully will be before April 13th.
Oh, yeah, you'll hear this before. Yeah. This will come out before April 13th, or Sin is really slacking.
You never know.
But what if they don't listen to it right away? What if they are listening to this on August 2023? I mean,
well, that's their fault.
Would, but yeah.
I mean, that still could be a possibility.
Hey, anyone who's listening to this in the year 2023, let us know. I would love to hear.
Yeah, shout out. Our own little time capsule. If you're hearing this 2023 or later for the first time, let us know.
Yeah, like you're going back to listen to old episodes, I suppose, or something like that. You hear about us later. They may.
If I get a message in 2023 or 2024, like, hey man, just listen to the episodes, like, wait, what?
I know. That would be awesome.
I'll be so confused at first. 100%. I can barely remember what I say like a week or so ago.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Right. Oh god.
All right. And then another piece of thing on my list I wanted to talk about, and if you guys have anything else, but Sin, I know we have Gambit Labs this week. You said you've hopped in a little bit. What do you think?
Oh yes, I found the invader swap pretty intriguing. I think that's a nice little change, to be honest, because if you are banking most of the moats and then get the invade, it snowballs. I think it's less of a snowball effect when you get to the point of getting the invasion, but the other team gets it. The same goes for, if your team's behind and then finally gets it, it'll give the other team the invade at that point. But there's nothing wrong with that, especially when you can get the invade first when you've been behind. I still am not a big fan of the gating of the boss and the old Gambit Prime method. I'm not a fan of that, but I've been powering through it the times I've played.
So Gambit Labs is interesting and hasn't been any worse, is what you're saying, at least?
Correct. And the invasion swap portion I like. I think that's a change. If they implement it, I wouldn't mind it.
I mean, I doubt they'll. You think they could? Oh, we'll see. I guess if they hear enough feedback. I just look at this as like it's a little trial, but you really think. But I'll try to hop in before the week is over and see what I think of it. I know Gambit is also double Infamy this week, right?
Did I see that it was somewhere there was two, Vanguard and Infamy?
Yes, Vanguard and Gambit, I believe.
Holy crap.
Yeah, still not playing it in the chat. Well, when they have something that's this unique and only for a week, I at least try to hop in it at least once to see.
For science,
right? to see what I think of it. But
yeah. Now, interestingly though, considering that they are like doing Gambit Labs, because you say it might be surprising if it replaces Gambit or replaces something that we're currently doing. I think it just might do that though. Because you got to remember, they learned that having two Gambit modes at the same time is not good. I mean, that's why they got rid of Prime to begin with, because there weren't there wasn't enough population per one. So
yeah,
right.
That's if we have, because I haven't talked to anyone else yet that's hopped in it, and hearing from Sin, and then I'm curious too hopping in it. But who knows if it can change it up that much, where at least it makes the invasion thing more of a, not necessarily a wild card, but a way you have to play different, that may be good for the long run. Yeah, I was skeptical when I first heard it. I'm like, well, you could play it in a way where you would still the other side invade, do the banks a certain way, but it could still be interesting, because even knowing that it's only going to work with a team, and at least before there was a fighting chance, even with blueberries, you could still win. But now if you don't have the team, it's like the blueberries would be like, wait, we don't, what do we want to do? it's backwards now. Oh man. I don't know what I'm saying, but it'll be interesting to see for sure. And
indeed.
And I think one of the seasons coming up too, Bungie did let us know that there's going to be something with Gambit also, right? What was it? They were looking at maps or changes. I feel like this was like a season or 2 or 3 in.
I know they just mentioned working on the champ.
That's okay. Yeah, I could be wrong on that.
No, I want to say you were right that they're still looking at. They're still looking at Gambit for, potentially.
Yeah.
For stuff is what I'm thinking they said. So yeah, like I said.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gambit might be changing. Probably not soon.
Most
of their focus right now is definitely probably Iron Banner.
Yep.
Or at least was. I mean, they're probably done with a lot of the changes now.
And then hopefully working on fixing Wrath of the Machine so they can bring it in the season after. People know what I'm talking about there.
Right?
They need to fix it.
That would be the best surprise ever if they could actually miraculously make it work and then surprise everyone with Wrath of the Machine instead of Kingsfall.
Please, Bungie.
Right.
Bungie, if you hear this.
Also, Hazel, you can get out of the live chat with that kind of talk.
Get out.
Wrath is 1,000,000 times better than Kingsfall.
If they bring Kingsfall back, they better do something for the boss encounter to make it more interesting.
Yeah, the lab champions.
Champions, God. You go in the suck world and it's like taking overload hobgoblins running at you. Oh man. Or no, unstoppable ogres.
Yeah, don't give them any ideas.
I don't know. Like I said, going back through that D1 supposed to be a raid race, but ended up being I guess a raid marathon. Yeah, I don't know. Kingsfall was great up until I mean it was how I remembered it, but once we got the last encounter, it just felt awful. It just kind of felt awful at Oryx. It's like everything flowed okay, and then everything just kind of grinded to a halt on Oryx. So I feel like if they could give it the vault treatment, I would be intrigued on what could be done.
Well, we have a really good piece of feedback too. He also mentions that, and we forget because we were mostly just seeing this in the story and a few other areas, but remember we have Lucent light bearers now too, not just champions. So there could be, light bearing, people throwing supers at us that we need to take down.
I mean, you know what? That is a potentiality because they did in fact add wyverns to vault. So it could at least be a potentiality that they add Lucent.
Well, not anything's a possibility, but there are possibilities. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited for that. But this raid's been great. It's not like we need to worry too much. The Vow of Disciple has been such a great raid that
it has
been very refreshing and is long lasting. Getting a lot of people raiding again too. I mean, I think I've mentioned this before, but people we see that haven't raided as much, people that haven't raided for a long time, and they're still raiding. I'm still seeing people like Gator raid almost every week.
Now that's how you know you got a good raid on your hands.
Love you, Gator.
when you got Gator raiding weekly, that's you got something. But I forgot to mention because I completely forgot. I actually did learn to get another new variation for Rolk. With the you were there, Sin, right? For that raid?
Yes,
probably because we did 3-man. We did 3-man instead of 4-man. Yeah, no, right. But
Sin knows 3-man well, though. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we did 3-man constant splitting, and that's actually I ended up being the depositor in that, and it's a little bit hectic, but I think I kind of like it even better than 4-man.
Yeah, it's after doing it a couple more times since then, it's 3-man's good, especially if you're bringing new people through. You only have to worry about 2 people juggling while the other one is depositing.
Exactly.
And it allows the other 3 to handle, the reads and call outs, especially if you're carrying 2 new people or 2 people that aren't as familiar. It does make that a little bit easier. 4-man, 2 at once, whether you do the challenge or not, or triumph, I should say. Goes a little bit quicker and more room for error on the timing, but still not bad because it is going continuous and you still have to only worry about the one glyph keeper.
Continuous either way, right? That I think that's the lesson
100%.
tonight.
100%.
Yeah.
100% continuous. Like I said, I did like 3 men because, your 3 active mechanics individuals can basically focus on all the mechanics. Then you can basically have 3 ad clear, especially if you're bringing I could see bringing 3 new people into Rolk with 3-man continuous, because again, you can just put the other 3 on ad clear and have your active mechanics people focus on the active mechanics.
Well, shoot, even with the 3-person, one of the splitters can read. The one who doesn't have the buff can actually read.
Yeah, that's true.
Leaving them almost invaluable to do anything for sure.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I got you.
Thank you for clarifying.
Repeating.
Gotcha. I heard it differently, so good. Glad.
No, I'm awful at explaining things, so legitimately thank you for clarifying.
Well, if you ask Ninja, and I know Ninja, you're in the chat, that I can be confusing sometimes. Love you, Ninja.
That's 100% me. I know it's a fault I have to overcomplicate explanations and not quite. Oh my God, these dogs. Yeah.
I really like, continuous either way. I prefer the 2 dunk. I feel I've taught some newer groups but we did run with a group that not everyone could be on mic. And so because we didn't have the instant communication and the chat typing was a little bit off for us, 3 was definitely the way to go there. So it's nice that we have options that are both good. I don't know a lot of other raids where there's 2 good options. There's like 1 good option and the rest are like not good. You know what I mean? But
right.
Like 2-ball, I mean, unless you're doing some, I don't know why that'd ever be a good option anymore in DSC, right? The 2 versus the 4.
Yeah, it's not a good option.
Anyways, I feel like there's something else I was going to say about that too. Shoot, I forget. Man, it was going to be more raid talk, but yeah, we've been having fun with a lot of different people and running it different ways. And, kind of coming down on some strats, but there's still some variation. The challenges have been fun so far, too.
Oh, yeah, we still need to do the 3rd encounter one.
Sounds, you got me turned on now.
I mean, everybody's got a nut clear.
A nut clear. Right on. All right, anything else about the raid or other Destiny stuff?
No, I know we talked a little bit about some other games earlier. Des, you're doing the Stranger's Paradise. That's on my radar, and so is Tiny Tina's.
Yes.
There was one other one that was on my radar, but I can't remember what it is.
Well, no, yeah, because you already did Horizon.
Yeah, Forbidden West, I finished. I did jump back in for a couple of minutes and did another side quest earlier this week to clear those up a little bit. I saw it updated on the PlayStation, so figured I'd jump in for a couple minutes. And boy, going back into these games that I don't play every single time, trying to remember the controls after you basically no life it for so long just to get it done. And it's interesting.
Yeah. And we were making sure you weren't going to get any spoilers about the game. But yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I'm afraid to go back into Horizon Forbidden West because of the controls also. But it won't take me too long to get used to it, I don't think. But I kind of want to do Tiny Tina's next because I've heard amazing things about the game. And from pretty much everyone who's tried it. And it looks like a lot of fun. And I might have to hop to that next instead of finishing HFW. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should see, the problem is if I don't finish something, it's harder for me to go back and try to pick up because then I'm so lost up to that point for especially like trying to remember the controls again because it's not a game that I play every single day. So for me, I got to finish them. So I'm glad I finished Forbidden West when I did and the first one. Granted, didn't finish all the side content, but did a considerable amount more in the second game.
Yeah. All right.
Mohapo clarifies an acronym HCDFW.
Oh yeah, I like that. All right. Well, we thank everyone who was tuning in this week, and I think we're going to have some more feedback about Gambit next week once more people hop into Gambit Labs, and Iron Banner's coming up. Blah blah blah. No, just kidding. I'll be looking forward to the changes next season. Especially if something interesting changes there for science, right?
For science.
So I already did mention at the beginning of the show this time instead of the end because I didn't want to forget, but our Patreons, because I wanted to do that once a month, but also just a reminder what I didn't specifically say, and we're going to post this in the channel again. If you're a Patreon member, then you get a once a month benefit. So I will post that to the channel. Please remember, if you want to change one of our names, any of ours, you can. I feel like I haven't been picked on that much. I know Des has a little bit, or Sin. I'm trying to remember. Anyways, you can pick to change one of our names. You can pick to have a specific question or topic talked about on the podcast, or you can pick a specific raid, any raid that's in the game, to play with us, or some of us, whatever. But you kind of get priorities. What I'm getting at here. So
exactly. And Ninja, that's a lie. I think I'm the one that
Pick
always gets the brunt of it.
You talking about the name changes? Not always, but yeah, you can pick on me. Someone can.
Name changes, generic jokes. It's just that Sin's an easier target, like for my April Fool's fiasco.
Nice.
I think the comment there is I take it probably a lot better than some other people do, for the most part.
For sure.
Because I don't listen. Right. And if I really got mad, I don't have a problem with saying,
screw you, I'm going home.
I'll tell you about yourselves. Low-hanging fruit, like a pro.
No, but
like a pro.
We're all happy here, right? As long as you're cool in the Discord and don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Then you're invited to stay.
Yeah, speaking of my April Fools, it was a little extreme, but I got at least a couple people, so...
Yeah, I was in the middle of messaging Kingsley. I screenshotted it. I was about to send it to Kingsley. I was like, what?
Dude, I didn't even think in this... I knew in this... And not even being April Fool's, like, I didn't think in the slightest it was real. I don't know why, but...
I mean, I was driving and he caught me off guard, and I'm sitting there fumbling with my phone and this manual transmission work truck trying to shift gears, pay attention to city traffic, screenshot something on Discord, pay attention to my other phone with Nav. I'm like, fuck, what's going on? I think I need to pull over. And then you messaged.
Yeah, I messaged right after it all happened. I messaged our group chat. It's like, I swear, it's a prank. Okay, like it's all
Nice.
good. It's a prank.
And I think I got up too late, so I couldn't have added to it. But if I was up early enough with that message, one of us could have written something else, like Sin or I, and be like, "Yeah, I know, it's all good. We're just gonna move on." Blah blah blah.
Yeah, right. But as I was saying, I definitely got Hazel for a little bit. He shared some very nice words with me.
Excellent.
And then he snowballed, once he realized what it was, it snowballed into getting Gator, so it was a win all around. So yes, it was extreme. It's not something I do often, but inspiration hit me and I had to exaggerate. It took me like 20 minutes to type that out just to try and have enough believable exaggerations,
Yeah.
But yeah, that got behind at work, and then I had to catch up, which led to the lengthy pause of my leave Discord. Because I had to catch up at work. So yeah.
Nice. Hey, that was all good fun. So yeah, a couple interesting things have happened since we've last been on the.
Now the question
Discord, podcast.
Is Dezelnut going to be a thing? Is the Dezelnut podcast?
You know what?
Yeah,
hilariously, it was a joke. Like, it was a joke. And it wouldn't be the first thing that was spawned out of an April Fool's joke, because for what's called EX Fighting Layer, was actually a game that was announced as an April Fool's joke. Like a company that developed the Street Fighter EX series, actually made these like fake 3D model mock-ups for this April Fool's video. The only problem was it looked like an interesting game, and so the dev team actually decided to go ahead and make the game, which became EX Fighting Layer. So it wouldn't be the first time something was created from a April Fool's joke, but I had a serious question about it, and I think it came down to just like, we might not have the time to do it. But that's also probably not to say it's completely off the table. To quote The Undertaker at his Hall of Fame induction, never say never.
One thing I'm going to let you know is I will not be editing.
Well, you wouldn't.
Don't even think about it.
Sounds like you wouldn't be invited, Sin. It would be Des and Hazel.
I'm just saying, I don't want any more editing responsibilities.
Sin trying to think it's about him too.
Day one probs. Day one probs.
Right? Who says we need an editor? Just record, post, done.
Yeah. Nice. All right, so we talked about Patreon, and also just a reminder, if anyone is not in our Discord, please join who's listening to this, because the Discord is so fun. You can talk about Destiny, you can talk about other stuff, and we invite everyone as long as you are nice. And if you need a link to that, we will post it at the end of the show and in our show notes. So,
don't be weird.
With that, let's do our sign-outs, because people probably don't care where to find us, but at least we'll have the show at the end too. Des, where can they find you?
Besides, of course, the numero uno being the Discord, you find me at DS_Raven, both this Discord and Twitter, are of course where the Vestas Index live, which I almost finished it today, but like I said, I fell into a bit of a funk, so I didn't get around to completing it. But I'm past the more populated weapon types. I'm on to like special and heavy ammos. I'm almost done with special, and I'll move on to the heavy ammos, which are normally nowhere near as lengthy as the primary ammo stuff, because Bungie tends to release more primary weapons than anything else. So that's on the rise. We'll be done very, very soon. Sin.
Nice. Thank you, Des. First shout out, I see Retro in the chat. Congratulations on your 1 year here in Discord. As Kingsley said, definitely join the Discord. We have some good times here. But you can also find me lurking and twerking in this Discord and all the other shenanigans, or over on Twitter at sin_media. Kingsley, the taxman cometh. Take us out.
Yes, you can find me looking for a newer version of Orpheus Rigs for my hunter. And you can find me in all the places as KingsleyMac, except for Twitter, where I am MC Kingsley. You can find our show with all our links and information to find out about us, either on Twitter as The Guardian Hub, or on our lovely, lovely website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub and the best nub on the net.
You got that request, Sin. Thanks. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Sin. Thanks, Des. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it, and we will see you all again next week. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.